It's fucking comic reviews! Here we go. I have a lot of comics here. I've been very busy, blah, 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 blah. Some of these comics are a little old, so don't be surprised if you see Amazing Fantasy 12 in here. Now, let's get going. I have Grant Morrison's issue 2 of Batman Incorporated, drawn by Yannick the Quick. And last we left our super duper heroes. We have Batman and Catwoman in Japan trying to recruit Mr. Unknown, but unfortunately he's dead, killed by Lord Deathman. And Catwoman and Batman save the day, save the sidekick's girlfriend just in time from the squid. And here's something interesting. This is amazing what I'm very impressed with Grant Morrison, because I at first, last issue, was very impressed that he used Lord Deathman from the Batman manga from Japan from the 60s, which was recently printed in the Batman manga trade. It's very cool. You should get it. Okay, I thought, okay, cool. We're doing a new version of this character. He's introduced, blah, blah, blah. No, he's referencing that story. So that story actually happened. It's now canon. Just because of this panel, by the way. Amazing. And it fits, and it works, and it's fine. I love it. This is an exciting issue. It climaxes with Batman chasing Lord Deathman. Meanwhile, the sidekick to Mr. Unknown races to save his next potential victim. Holy shit, is this great. 5 RAM chips. Love this. We're going to a couple issues of Birds of Prey. Issue 6, Gail Simone and Lee doing the art, where I guess this is climacting whatever the fuck Black Canary was doing. It's okay, 3 RAM chips. But issue 7 is far superior. Also Gail Simone, and different artist on this one. Who is this? I didn't catch the artist on this. Adrian Snaff, I think. Saff? Adrian Saff. It's the first issue of The Death of Oracle. And by the way, I am going to put $5 down that we're talking a metaphorical death. I'm not sure what Barbara Gordon is going to be doing during this story or after the story, but something's up. And people are setting her up. Of course, it's the Calculator, of course, her arch nemesis. By the way, Calculator is a great little scene and speech at the beginning. Very, very good writing. Very solid. There's been a couple issues that haven't been too great in this new Birds of Prey series so far, but this is excellent. This is what I'm hoping to see month by month. Loved it. Also, of course, the stuff with Batman coming in is just brilliant. I love Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon having any kind of scene together. I think those characters are just great. Love it. I'm going to go with a strong 4 RAM chips, just barely missing 5 RAM chips. Very good. Zatanna. Speaking of someone back, Paul Dini shows up to write issue 8 of Zatanna. This is Paul Dini and Cliff Chang. And we explore Zatanna's maybe irrational fear of puppets. Or is it? Now, people are afraid of clowns, but that's real. but no, I mean, people can be creeped out by puppets. And she's not talking about, the usual magic kind that's used in, like, voodoo ceremonies and other kind of shit she deals with. She's more creeped out by, the ones that are supposed to be cute. Like the Woozle, whose name is Peanut. That kind of scares the shit out of her. But anyway, she is... Let's see, I'm trying to reread here. Oh, she's being haunted by this terrible memory that happened to her as a child that she feels like had a lot to do with her fear, and it's coming all back. What's happened? Who's that killer? What's going on? And by the way, has the most naughty cliffhanger I've seen in a comic book in a while. I love you, Paul Dini. You should be ashamed of yourself for how awesome you are. 5 RAM chips. Great issue. You should be reading Zatanna. Daredevil. Here we go, Daredevil. This is post Shadowland, and this is still Andy Diggle and Johnston. This is the epilogue, basically, to Shadowland. And Captain Logan over at Geek Evolution has been talking about how all you need to to do is skip all the other extra books for the Shadowland crossover and just read Shadowland and Daredevil. And you know what? It should have been in just simply the Daredevil series, because it fit together so well. You really didn't need all this other extra crap that was going on. And Diggle was, I guess he had a big story planned for the regular books, and I suppose maybe the editors of Marvel thought maybe it should be expanded into a crossover. I don't know what the origins are, but I'm sure that's probably has something to do with it. This is, issue 512, by the way. And Daredevil isn't dead. He just survived his horrible ordeal, but he's letting the world think he's dead, or at least suspects that he's dead. He's done that before, after the Fall. Or no, it was Fall from Grace, excuse me. It was Fall from Grace. After the Fall is an Angel story. So everyone's trying to figure out what's going on, and then we have Black Panther show up to reclaim the neighborhood. I don't know. I suppose that's going to be better explained in Black Panther Man Without Fear. Anyway, at the end, Matt Murdock is growing a beard and going off somewhere in America. He's going to be a wandering hero, I guess, for a while. He put himself back together. This, by the way, I don't know how I feel about this, because this has already happened once before. This happened during Anna Chinny's run in the 80s on Daredevil. Once he was crushed and defeated by the Kingpin and Typhoid Mary, he grew a beard and walked around the country trying to figure himself out. So, I mean, okay, let's do that again. Why not? And besides that bit of a complaint, I don't know if that's a nitpick or full-fledged complaint, but I really did enjoy this issue quite a bit. This is 5 round chips. New Avengers. Okay, one of my problems with Brian Michael Bendis, this is New Avengers issue 7, I'm sorry. This is Brian Michael Bendis and Stuart Immonen. Now, one of my big problems with Brian Michael Bendis doing Avengers is I'm not positive his style fits well enough with big, epic superhero action stuff. There's too many scenes of a lot of his books where the characters kind of gather and figure out what to do, and it'll be like the whole issue. And then the action will be like maybe a page, splash page, which it kind of bothers me. But here's an example of how his style does work. I love this issue. This is hilarious. The dialogue is funny from panel 1 to the last panel of the Avengers trying to figure out what to do next. They were interrupted in the first story arc with that whole magic kookiness going on with the Sorcerer Supreme and all chaos and hell coming through the sky. Now they're getting back to what they were originally going to try to do. They were going to try and figure out who's on the team and who's not. And that's pretty much the whole issue, is the meeting, and the dialogue is just priceless, especially when Spider-Man figures out that Hand, let's see, is her name Veronica Hand? I think it's Veronica Hand, was working with the Green Goblin. Boy, he isn't really fond of that idea. Also, at the end, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage figure out that if they're going to be like superheroes again or doing whatever the hell, they need a nanny for their baby, and they hire Squirrel Girl. We're going to have Brian Michael Bendis writing Squirrel Girl in a minor part in this series. This is hilarious. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. This is 5 ram chips. This is probably, to be honest, nothing happens in this issue, and I don't give a shit. This is my favorite issue of the series so far. Green Hornet! Issue 10. This is the end of the Kevin Smith storyline. Next issue, it's going to be picked up by Phil Hester and Jonathan Lau, who have been doing an art. Exciting, exciting, exciting. Holy shit, this is great. This is my favorite Kevin Smith comic book storyline. I'm not going to really reveal too much. It's the climax where they take on the Black Hornet, and also sets up the status quo for the rest of the series. Now, and also, you know, kind of settles in the relationship, and loved it a lot. This is excellent work. I'm going to keep buying at least the next couple issues to see if the quality keeps up. But congratulations, Kevin Smith. This was excellent work. This is 5 RAM chips, and the whole first 10-issue story arc gets 5 RAM chips. Loved it a lot. It did drag for a couple issues, but overall, great work. I hope the movie is anywhere near as good as this. Buffy! Buffy! Buffy, this is Last Gleaming, issue 4, and this is issue 39. We're getting close to the end of season 8. Coming soon, season 9. And this is Josh Whedon, and Scott Alley is Scott Alley's helping write. Georges Genti, as usual, is doing the art. And you know, it's been so long since I read this, I plumb forgot what the hell happened in it. What happened in this issue? Here, Lindsay's gonna help.
I don't know. I haven't read in a while either.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem with the Buffy books. Is like, I've been forgetting what happens each issue.
There was a cave full of monsters and something.
So there you go. That's your synopsis. I'm going to give it 3 RAM chips. How about you? You can give a RAM chip if you want.
Yeah, I agree. 3.
3, okay. Lindsay gives RAM chips. This is 3. And speaking of Lindsay, I got this comic from her. She buys a lot of horror stuff and independent stuff, more than I do, actually. And this is from IDW. Well, I don't know, I guess I'm beginning to think maybe we shouldn't call IDW a independent book anymore. Because frankly, they're really churning out some really impressive work, and I'm beginning to think they're the new Dark Horse. So, yeah, I mean, they have like big mainstream stuff like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters. An independent comic company wouldn't really have. They have Star Trek, for God's sakes. Matter of fact, they're even doing a crossover with all that stuff. But they still do some cool horror indie stuff, which I think is their main bread and butter. And this is the Suicide Forest by, let's see, do I have the names ready? El Torres and Gabriel Jimenez. And holy Jesus, this is a good issue. It goes on, it's centered around a actual real-life fact that there's this forest in Japan which tracks suicides a lot. It's like the suicide capital of Earth. And it centers on a couple different people here. We have the workers whose, I guess it's job to find people, you know, through this forest. The girl seems to know a little bit more about the guy who's kind of a newbie. And also we center on this romantic couple, this young American who's living in Japan, who falls in love with this girl, and of course, as relationships go, they break up, and she's not taking it too well. And in the first issue, our workers find a body, and they bring him on to the morgue, and she decides to stay with the body, and this shows up. His spirit shows up. Meanwhile, the girlfriend kills herself. She hangs herself. And I don't know if I can bring this across right here. You know, the art in this book is amazing. It's beautiful. And it almost reminds me of John Romita Jr., oddly enough, in some panels, which really stands out. When John Romita Jr. does, you know, something really solid, like maybe Man Without Fear or something like that. I'm liking this a lot. I'm going to give this a strong 5 RAM chips. It's called The Suicide Forest. If you're looking for something new, I definitely recommend it. And also, let's go to something that's really independent, which, to be honest, I think IDW has now kind of stepped over that threshold of big mainstream companies. Here is a true independent series. This is from Primal Paper Comics, which is a small company out of here in Tidewater in Virginia Beach. And it's by Bob Frantz and Pablo Pepono. And it's called 41. I sent this issue to Blows Himself Up Dude just a couple weeks ago, and he overall enjoyed it quite a bit. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi story centered on a group of people. Now, it's interestingly vague. Like, it's vague about what happened to the world, and it's vague about what the villain is doing. It's very interesting. this issue serves as a good issue as far as introducing the characters, which have, you know, kind of a ragtag group of heroes. There's some really good action, so we get to see them, you know, actually do something. Nice little bit of action here. And there's also a cliffhanger where we're introduced to a character, and we're not sure. He's tied down in a room, and there are a whole bunch of people dead. Now, did he kill them, or I don't know what. This is very interesting. I definitely want to read more of this. I totally recommend checking it out. Now, this is an independent book, and you can't really find it at your local comic store. I'm going to put a link at the bottom so you can contact the Facebook page of this comic. So hopefully Bob has some more issues to that he's already printed. I think he's doing a second printing of it. Check him out. Please give it a shot. Friend it on Facebook. If you're interested in post-apocalyptic stuff, if you want to support real independent comics, here we go. Give it an order. Tell him Manos, Justin Cristelli sent you, and I don't know what he's going to do about that. Maybe he'll be happy. But anyway, 5 gram chips. Very good. You know, all these are kind of late, but I enjoyed a lot of these. With the exception of Buffy, it was a little the weakest of the books. That's about it, I think, so push the button, Lindsay.